Hello, today we are going to talk about how to program for the KDE community using the integrated development environment named JetBrains CLion. So JetBrains has a suite of integrated development environments using a Java framework for integrated development environments, and some of these products are IntelliJ IDEA, mostly for Java programming language development, PyCharm for Python, PHP Storm, and for C++ and C programming language, there's CLion. So it's cross-platform, Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Knows CMake, the KDE community uses CMake, the KDE community uses C++, supports GCC or CLang compilers, the GDB debugger. So let's look at the wiki page, so community.kde.org/getinvolved/development/id configuration/clion. The first step that we need to do is to download the IDE from the jetbrains.com website. There are some possibilities of using the software without paying. These are some of the special offers, but since I do not qualify for any of these, I'm not a former student, I'm not a student, I'm going to go with individual use, yearly billing, that would be 99 euros. And there's, in the meantime, a 30-day trial. So Linux targz, which means a compressed tarball, and this is probably for AMD 64, this is for ARM 64. So let's go download. I have already downloaded the file, as it says here, into ~/downloads, which is this file. So ~/downloads clion -2023.2.1.tar.gz. This is again a free 30-day trial. And then I'm going to run some of the command lines specified in here. So first of all, I'm going to install, so clion is a directory that's inside this tar-gzip. So I'm going to use the directory ~/.opt. So I'm going to install similar to what the installation would look like if it were installed per machine in /usr, but I'm not installing it per machine, I'm installing it per user, so in ~/.opt. Creating directories. Uncompressing. Okay, and now the executable. So .opt clion bin and then clion.sh, this thing. It's already executable, so you can double click on it, or you can start it from the command line. Does not matter. Okay, So at first it starts this Java dialog where it shows the end user license agreement. I confirm, continue. Data sharing, I'm going to go don't send. Okay. And then it offers me in the licenses dialog a radio button for start trial, and then the start trial button, and then the continue button. Okay, so this is the canonical way of installing JetBrains CLion on Linux. You go to their website, you download what they provide, unzip it anywhere, and then you just start clion.sh. Okay. After that, CLion is started, so this chapter needs to be done only once. And then for each KDE community Git project that you build and want to use from the CLion integrated development environment, you're going to follow the steps in this chapter. So first of all, let's talk about kdesrc-build. So I have kdesrc-build for Qt5 installed not into ~/kd but into ~/kd file, because I have two kdesrc-build installations, 145 and 146, Qt5, Qt6. So let's go at the Qt5 one. There's the kdesrc-build Git repository cloned here. These are the executables that we're going to use, kdesrc-build and kdesrc-run. And then inside of this directory and nowhere else, I have the configuration file. Let's look at the configuration file, kdesrc-build rc. So it's for kf5, Qt5, which means Qt5. And I have these settings are default from kdesrc-build when you first configure it. This I have changed from CMake build type rel with debinfo to CMake build type debug, because I want full debug symbols and no optimization such that the debugger inside of CLion works correctly. Then I'm using a large number of cores, so of CPU threads, not the default, which is 4. And then I'm not using any CMake generator specified, which means that the default CMake generator used by kdesrc-build is named Unix makefiles. So that's what I'm using. There's no CMake generator defined in here. Okay, so either you comment out the line CMake generator like this, or you delete the line CMake generator from the configuration file kdesrc-build rc. Okay. The next step is to build the KDE Git repository that we want to open in CLion. So I did that. That's I used such a command line. So kdesrc-build, kcalc, and then --debug. And then I went above and beyond by specifying that I want to rebuild all of the 27 Git repositories that are needed in order for kcalc to build. But this part is not absolutely mandatory. Fresh build, no stop on fail. So this will take a lot of time. It's going to do not build incremental builds, but clean and builds, so rebuilds of 27 Git repositories instead of less. Okay, so you should use this. If this does not work, this is one way of fixing issues. Okay, then it says that we should scroll into the output. So this is the output of the previous command that we ran. And this is the last step, which is kcalc make install. this part, which actually ran gmake install /fast. The step above it is kcalc make, which is this step gmake -j15, which because we specified 15 CPU threads, and we need to go at the step above. So not the last step, not the penultimate step, but the one before that, which is the cmake configure step. Okay, so we're at this part where it says running cmake targeting Unix make files, and then cd/home/nmariusp/kd5/build/kcalc. So this is the directory where building takes place and where cmake generates files, so the tilde/kd/build/kcalc, whereas the source code of kcalc was git cloned into tilde/kd5/src kcalc. So this particle is different, this directory. It's build for the build artifacts, it's src for the git clones, and it's going to be usr for make install, where the executables files, so files, etc. will be installed. Okay, so it says write down the part similar to this. So ending with the last setting environment variable and starting with running cmake, so this part. Copy, new, Control V. So we've put it into a text editor to have it available in the future. Okay, and now we're back to CLion. This thing. So this is the welcome to CLion wizard. The first page of the wizard offers the options new project, which will create a project using CLion IDE wizards, so project templates. Then open, which we want to do because we have the directory of kcalc. So kcalc is the KDE applicator for the desktop calculator, this one. We have already git cloned the directory, so that's what we want to do. Open the git clone, not get from git. Okay. So in the open file or project, we're going to select the git clone directory, the directory where we git cloned the KDE Git repository. And from there, we're going to select the top level cmake lists.txt file. So tilde/kd5/src/kcalc/cmake list.txt file in my case. I'm going to select the file and then press OK. Then it's going to say open the project dialog. cmake list.txt is a project file. Would you like to open the project instead of opening the file? So that's what we want. We do not want to see the content of the cmake list.txt file. We want CLion with its cmake knowledge, cmake plugin, cmake integration to actually read what's inside cmake list.txt, to parse that, and then load the project accordingly. So we go open as project. Okay, then it says trust projects in tilde/kd5/src. Yes. Okay. And then we're at this part where we're not going to change anything. So it says tool change cmake next. And now we're at the step, which is the open project wizard page, last page. This thing can also be opened using where are you? from the main menu of CLion, file settings, and then you get at this thing, build, execution, deployment, and CMake. Okay, then you need to select the debug CMake profile. So this thing is a profile, this thing is CMake profile debug. Okay, at generator we go let CMake decide. Okay, and we need to look at the part that we have written down in the text editor from the output of kdesrc-build kcalc -minus debug. So this thing. And configure the project accordingly. So let's see. Build configuration is config. We can see it in is debug. We can see it in here. DCMake build type. This thing. What else? It says that this is the build directory. This thing. We're at this step, and then we need CMake options. So CMake options being the command line for CMake, which we can see in here, that the command line that was used to actually start CMake was this one. So CMake -b, so use the current directory as the build directory, and the current directory is ~kd5/build/kcalc. Take the source code from ~kd5/src, not from build and then kcalc. G, this is Unix makefiles. And then additional command line parameters. So what we want to provide is this part. Okay. So it starts with -g and it goes until the end. Convert using a text editor and replace this part with this thing. Okay, so let's do that. So kdesrc-build is exporting a number of environment variables, and the same thing CLion should do. For that, CLion has a setting in here, which is called environment variables. This thing, environment. But we need to convert this format from the kdesrc-build output to the format that the IDE expects, which is the following format. So this thing should be nothing. So replacing this part with the empty string. And then we need to replace 2, so this thing, with equal sign. Replace all. Okay, that's it. Okay. Next is to use this block, copy, and we place it inside of the environment. We click on Edit Environment Variables, Shift Enter. There's this paste button. So there's a button that looks like has the paste icon and the paste tooltip. So we have copied this. So this text is now in the clipboard. And we're going to click once here in order to take the data from the clipboard and paste it inside of the environment variables dialog in CLion. Okay, you can see how that looks like. It looks as expected. Press OK. And now we're going to delete the build directory because the build directory was created by kdesrc-build, and we want to leave the KDE, the build directory available for CLion. That's a way of doing. You could leave the directory there, but paste, okay. And my directory is tilde/kde5, like this. Should go finish. Okay, and it says in the status, it says CMake presets, loaded 12 new presets. Okay, so next up, in the bottom left, select the button with the tooltip CMake, this one. Opens the CMake tool window, which is this one, which you can minimize. Hide, Shift, Escape. Okay. We can see that CMake has ran already. We're going to go clear all, the trash button, and then reload CMake project, which is going to run CMake configure again. So let's look at the output. This is important to make sure that CLion is using settings that are as similar as possible to whatever kdesrc-build does. Okay, let's enable line wrap. I cannot live without line wrap, which is soft wrap these files asterisk, apply OK. And it's not enough. Okay, so let's look at the command line. CLion has a bin directory, which also contains a distribution of CMake. You could use the CMake that kdesrc-build uses, which is probably the CMake from your Linux OS binary packages, or you could keep using the CLion or the CMake distribution that's provided by CLion. Okay, then let's look at the incantations. So kdesrc-build goes CMake-b dot. So kdesrc-build is in this directory, whereas CLion is in the src directory, in this directory. That's why it needs to specify with -b the build directory and with -s the directory for the where we git cloned kcalc kdgit repository. Okay. It's in fact the same thing, it's just it expanded -b. Okay, -b is now full path, and it was a relative path, the current directory previously in what kdesrc-build does. Okay, then we want -g Unix makefiles listing, done. dcmake export commands, bool on, dcmake build, type debug correct, dcmake cxx flags, strings -pipe, dcmake install prefix, tilde/kd5/usr, everything's correct. If the environment variables have been set correctly, which I hope it was the case. So it took Qt 5 from my Linux distribution, which is Ubuntu 23.04 from the packages, whereas the rest of the KDE things, it took from them from the tilde/kd5/usr directory. Looks okay. These two libraries, GNPM, PFR, which are GNU libraries, not Qt libraries. They don't depend on Qt, not part of the KDE community. So they were taken from Linux OS deb packages. Okay, it says build files have been written to ~kde5/build/kcalc. Very similar to what kdesrc-build has done for the cmake configure step. Okay, what's next? We need to build. So that was the gmake -j15 step. Let's go in the main menu of CLion, build. It has already selected the correct cmake project, which is kcalc. The other possibilities. So the other possibility except kcalc, which are defined in the cmake list.txt file and its child included files, are kcalc, which is the GUI application. There's PO, which is translations, and then that's these things which end in test, which are actually integration tests, okay, number test. PO files from translation. Okay, so the only interesting cmake targets are actually kcalc and knumber test, but it has selected the correct one, which is kcalc. Okay, so from the main menu, build and build kcalc control 9. We going to go rebuild to make sure it does clean before building. Not needed, a clean is not needed because we've just deleted the ~kd5/build/kcalc directory, and then we've recreated the directory by running reload cmake project. Okay, so it has built kcalc. What's the next step? Let's make sure that when the IDE CLion runs or starts in the debugger the executable kcalc, the executable kcalc can find the correct environment variables set. Okay, so let's go there. Main menu, run, edit configurations, this thing. It has selected the correct current cmake target, which is kcalc. And let's look. Environment variables. This thing. And we're going to paste again from the text file. So right click, copy, and then paste. Okay. And okay. Let's prove that the IDE can start kcalc. We have this run button, so run kcalc shift F10, or from the main menu, run kcalc shift F10. Okay, we can see that the correct executable has started, so not the one from ~kd5/usr, but the one from the intermediate build directory, so from ~kd5/build/kcalc/bin/kcalc, because the step make install was not run yet. Okay, we can eventually look at the list of files in use. Okay, so it's using Qt from my Linux operating system, but it's using KDE SO files from /kde5/usr, which is correct. Okay. Next, let's see if the debugger works correctly. We go into project. Where are you? We minimize this. And we find the entry point of kcalc. So cmakelist.txt says add executable kcalc, and then kcalc is the target source, and there's a kcalc.cpp file. So let's go there. It has opened the correct file. We need to find the entry point of the executable, which is the function main. How do we do that? We look at the structure, this thing, so the button structure Alt-7. We select, where are you? I'm selecting the file kcalc.cpp and then selecting the button structure Alt-7. Minimize the class or collapse the class kcalculator, and we can see the main function, which is the entry point of the executable. Let's put a breakpoint on line 2821, which is this one, and start the debugger by pressing the debug kcalc shift F9 button, or from the main menu, run debug kcalc shift F9. Okay, so it has stopped at the correct place where we put the breakpoint. The shortcuts are step over F8, step into F7, step out shift F8, and continue F9. So step over, step into, and it takes us to the called function on line 2823, which is the static function set application domain from the class klocalized string or namespace. What is this thing? Let's hover on klocalized string, and it says it's a class, not a namespace. Hover on set application domain, says that it's a static method. Const char pointer domain. So const char pointer is the C programming language idiomatic type for passing strings. So not references to strings, but strings. Const char pointer. And in Unix, it's customary that this const char pointer thing is actually an array of UTF-8 8 bits. UTF-8 encoded 8-bit 1 byte integers. Okay. So now the call stack, we can see it in here in threads and variables. It says that the call stack for which we have debug symbols is kcalc.cpp, and from kcalc.cpp we have landed into the next method, which is klocalized string set application domain, which is from another KDE Git repository, which is /kd5/src/k internationalization. So this is a CPP file. The CPP files only exist inside of /kd5/src, not inside /usr, not in /include, and not inside ~kd5/usr/include. Whereas .h files exist in two places. So klocalized string.h exists both near the CPP file in the same directory, and then also in ~kd5/usr/include. So the h file exists in two places. CPP file exists just in one place. This is for symbols which are exported from the KDE Git repository, which is the case for the KDE Framework version 5 key internationalization. Okay. We have the tab GDB. So we know it uses GDB, not LLDB. So the GNU debugger, not LLVM CLang debugger. Let's look at the process that is loaded inside GDB. Says the process is what we would expect. So ~kd5/build/kcalc/bin/kcalc. It has actually changed into the bin directory first, and then executed the full path to kcalc. And we have the PID process ID. Let's actually do this thing. So in another terminal, and copy the PID. We need to make sure, so these are the environment variables that are being seen right now by the kcalc executable. We need to make sure that these environment variables are what we specified. So path should start with ~kd5/usr/bin. And it does. And then ~/.local/bin, and then ~/bin, and then /usr/local/sbin, and bin, and /usr/bin, and then bin. Okay, and then spin bin, USR games. So it's definitely the path environment that we have told CLion to set when it starts the CMake executable. Okay, LD library path is not really needed. CMake module path is not really needed. Qt plugin path is this thing. CMake prefix path is not really needed. Package config path is not really needed. XDG data dirs. Where are you? I don't know. So let's copy the output. Copy, Control N, Control V, Control F. Yeah. Okay. So this thing is ~kd5/usr/share, and then usr share plus my local share. So it's clear that it's the one that we have specified. Okay. Okay, so that's about it, about all that you can do in CLion, which means you can load the KDE Git repository that's written in C++. You can see the source code, navigate the source code, see tooltips, see help, go to navigate, find references, find usages like this, navigate from CPP file to H file, and then back, control click to go to definition or to references, and then CLion, the integrated development environment, knows how to run CMake configure step correctly, knows how to run make, which is the build step correctly, knows how to start the executable kcar correctly, so the correct executable with the correct environment variables, and then the same for the debugger. The debugger inside CLion integrated development environment knows how to start the correct kcalc executable with the correct environment variables block. Okay. I do not know the rest of the features of CLion. So there's errors warnings, weak warnings, and other issues, which you can go to using the next highlighted error F2. There's the minimap, which allows you to jump straight to an issue. There's all sorts of tool windows that I do not use, such as the database one. There's a terminal. There's Git integration. There's CMake integration, so there's again clear button, run CMake configure step again. There's a CMake cache file, I'm not sure what that thing is. Event tracing. Show generated files in Dolphin. What's this? Okay, so this is the tilde/kd5/build/kcalc directory. These are the build output. We can see that it respects -J14, which I did not specify anywhere, so I'm not sure where it's taking this number from. The run button, the debug button, errors, warnings, issues, problems in the current file, and problems in the error. Six grammar errors. What do you mean by that? Yeah, this might be correct. So an opportunity to easily and fast do merge requests for the Git repositories from the KDE community. So run the inspections of project using the CLion integrated development environment and see maybe there's an issue that can easily be fixed. Yeah, put a comma in here, do a git commit, and then do a KDE invent GitLab merge request. So even licenses have issues in them. Okay, what else? I know this isn't locale friendly. Okay, so this totally looks like something that I can fix.